Hello, everyone. Today I've got a good friend of mine with me, Dr. Kody, a chiropractor here in Vancouver, who, despite the youthful look, has wisdom beyond his years and has both a vision, but more importantly, the drive to do something different in the chiropractic world. But that's my take on Kody, having got to know him for some bits. But Dr. Kody, tell me a bit about your business. How long you've been in business? What is it you do?
So I guess for the answer of that direct question, I've been in business for 5 years. So I graduated from chiropractic school in 2015, and basically 2 weeks after graduating and getting my license, I opened up my own basically practice, but in
Wow.
another person's space, and that was my mentor at the time, and so he gave me that opportunity instead of actually hiring me on for the job. So, business wise, in 5 years, within a year and a half, I kind of outgrew the space, um, marketed it out, and just started going into the community and helping in terms of that. And my approach to care, people really enjoyed, and we were getting results. So then was getting a lot of referrals that way, and then ended up leasing my own space in 2017. Was growing from that point, changed my business model a little bit, and then just kept growing. And last year, basically built into a multidisciplinary clinic.
And when you say multidisciplinary, what do you mean by that? Because I know you're a chiropractor. What are the other things that your practice provides?
So we are a group of chiropractors. We have physiotherapy, massage therapy, as well as exercise therapy. So here in Canada, we call it kinesiology. That works with active rehab for car accidents as well.
Cool. So that's quite a holistic approach to the wellness, the physical body. Um, and I know that you have a personal vision, and that's encompassed in this drive to heal the whole body. Is that right?
Yes. I guess it goes back a little bit further. Like my background is nursing,
Okay.
so I was an RN. I worked in stroke medicine in locally in Burnaby, and so during that process, I was looking to go into medicine. But lightning struck. I got hurt as a patient fell. I caught them, hurt my low back, and that was actually my first exposure into the chiropractic world. I couldn't work. I was referred into chiropractic care and went in, had no idea what they were going to do, had no idea what they were talking about, and being young and adventurous, I decided to just say, like, fix me. I don't really care what you're doing. And luckily you did. 4 or 5 visits later, I was back to work, and really intrigued about the dynamic of helping healthy individuals get back to where they need to be. And really that kind of changed gave me a paradigm shift of what health really should be instead of the tertiary, very uh, reactive type of healthcare that I was inclined and used to. This became some other part that was very primary care, very preventative, and very helping people live a healthier, more active lifestyle.
You said something quite interesting there. You said that you help healthy people get back to where they want to be. Unless I misinterpreted that, I took you to say that we are already an embodiment of good health, but the structure of how we live is causing us to be less optimum and therefore to have a better expression of life. Have I understood that correctly?
Exactly. And I think health is, we have this global thought of what health should be, but I think health is what everyone's own personal goal and own vision is for themselves in terms of where they are. So, in terms of that, like, I'm here to assist those individuals to get to their goals.
Oh, cool. I understand. So, who would be your ideal customer, patient, client? How would actually you even describe them?
I call them clients. I think patients end up being like you feel like you're kind of in the hospital system when you're doing, like you're being lectured to. I always think that healthcare is a service. We provide it for people and we're there to serve. So clients have the choices that they make. Patients are lectured to and told what to do.
I
So I
got you.
like the term client because you're choosing for your care. You're choosing what you need. And it's a group decision in terms of what we're doing, including myself as well as the person in front of me.
And who would be your ideal client? Who is your target audience?
My ideal client is actually just from a marketing standpoint as well as what clients seem to respond as well as kind of speak the same language is usually women between the age of 25, 45 that are professional. Usually they're working, they're doing something in terms of a career, as well as, but they're active, they're fit, they want to do activities outside of their regular life, could have families, they could be single. It's just, I target market that because as a small business, there's not enough budget to market to everyone.
Of course.
And honestly speaking, women are way more respective of their health on a typical basis because oftentimes just old gender roles, women take care of everyone else. So as a result of it, if they don't feel good, I find that they will be the first one to search for care. Whereas, for example, you get sometimes the older school men who have been in pain for 10 years and then they come in wanting to be fixed and
Guilty
want
as
that.
charged. Yeah.
It's such a different thing. It's almost a mentality thing, a upbringing thing, just different psyche in terms of what individuals are expecting, I guess, and what they're anticipating. Whereas most guys, I find, this is a generality. There's men that are very health conscious, but generality wise, you have these guys that sometimes come in only when they can't do something that they want to do. I can't golf, therefore I'm here. But I've had pain golfing for the last 10 years. I
So
think
what
there's a difference in terms of that.
I got you, and I'm gutted I haven't fallen in either the 25 to 45 range or any of the other descriptors that you had.
You don't look
What,
a day over 25.
yeah, I'll be in at 3 o'clock. The question I was going to ask you then, for your little target audience, do you have a particular message if someone's watching this now? Um, is there something that they would be asking themselves? Is it a niggle? Is it a pain? Or is it they've just noticed they're not having the flexibility when they may be doing their yoga? What's the message? What should someone be alert to?
All of the above, to be honest. Like, I think a lot of the individuals that I see now are not the ones that typically get injured, like doing something active. Yes, you get the weight lifters, you get those things that hurt themselves. But honestly, I find it's the repetitive stress injuries of sitting. That's why I said like a lot of the professional individuals is what I see because they are spending time like what we're doing now, video calling, they're on their desk, they're doing calls, they're doing all these things. And honestly, our bodies react in a way that it adapts to the stress that we're putting it through. And if our stress is constantly sitting, it's changing the way that we're moving. And so after, for example, post-COVID, 90% of the clients coming in were basically the same three regions: neck and shoulder, mid back, and low back and hips. That's basically what they were coming in with. And that was because they changed their work environment. And now they don't have the nice desk, the nice chair, the nice thing. And they don't know actually how to work around some of the things. So oftentimes what I'm looking at is helping those individuals change some of those pieces to give them the tools to fix themselves.
That's awesome. So you mentioned COVID. That's the elephant in the room that's casting a shadow over the whole world, it seems, at the moment. I know it's impacted your business. What has been the biggest impact for you, though?
Well, I work in a community that's really close to the Vancouver General Hospital, so we're only about 2 blocks away. And so as a result, I actually decided to close my clinic even before the mandate came down. So when I heard Canada, the first province to respond was Ontario on the Monday. And so as soon as I heard that and it was come out from my association that they were closing down, I actually made the executive decision to close down the whole clinic. And we called everyone that day to say that we're no longer open, just to protect everyone. 2 days later, basically BC followed suit. So there were some discussions from clients that said, you know, if we're not closed yet, why are you closing? But from a safety standpoint, I'm looking to help individuals. I didn't want to be possibly a vector. We had no idea what was going on. So from that moment, we closed for about 2 months.
That speaks ultimately, doesn't it, to your intention about health being a holistic approach. And even the title of your business, Baseline Health, you know, it's about making sure that the line is always surpassed. It's not something that we undershoot, I guess. So, what are the one or two things that or actions that you took? I know you had to shut down for a period, which was the right thing to do, as you've just said. But what are the one or two other actions that you've done to help you through COVID and support your clients as well as your team?
So I think a lot of it was um, like I have a lot of resources and a lot of mentors. Joel, you being one of them, to help me through that time as well. But looking kind of not sitting in the negative and really creating that. So I said, what can I offer to my community that I've already built? So I dove in. We were doing social media posting back then. We were doing stuff, but I really focused on what value can I provide for my audience and what are the challenges they're experiencing. I created blogs on how to work from home, how to set up ergonomically, some how to if you have a back spasm, how do you get out of bed? How do you get into bed? How do you pick up objects? Because you weren't able to see anybody at that time. How do you like we did things like what happens if you're running and your knee hurts, how to properly prepare for some of these things. Like we did all these things, asking individuals and getting questions from clients, and I would make videos on these. I would make posting. I'd create blogs. I would do all these things to try to support my audience in order to get them through this already difficult time. Like it's already difficult to figure out your financial situation, your jobs, your all these things. But then you add stress that's been built up on that, that starts affecting us physically. It might not be the top of mind thing, but I knew at some point people were going to experience challenges with this. I even did stuff with sleeping, what type of sleep postures, pillows, what things are you supposed to have in terms of those. So really addressing some of the things that I knew clients would ask me on a regular basis so that we would be a resource for them.
I also know you're keeping quiet about this, but you corralled, if you like, a bunch of experts to create a virtual run summit as well, didn't you? To support those people who were encouraged to do more exercise, even if you couldn't be hands on with them. Tell me a bit
Exactly.
about that.
Yeah, so I had the idea because there were a lot of some of my mentors and some of the different groups I was part of were creating these events that were free for the public. And so I corralled a group of like-minded individuals who would work with the athletes, who would work with runners, and not just like I refer to them as athletes, but they're regular people as well. We really designed a program that had topics that were discussed. We had 18 individuals speaking, and they would all talk about one different thing. For example, I did 3 presentations. One was on just prevention in running, like how to prevent injuries. One was a specific condition called an IT band syndrome, and the last one was what's the difference between forefront running and rear foot running and the impacts on runners. So all of these are different topics, and they're all based on different levels of running. So the beginner runners want to prevent injury. The second, like the ones that are already running probably have some type of knee injuries or some type of pain. So that was to address that. Third one was just technique, trying to get more of the advanced runners to figure out what they want to do and how to prevent injuries for them. So I designed that. So then we had chiropractors, physios, we had personal trainers, we had kinesiologists, we had nutritionists, we had all these different individuals collectively addressing different issues and helping those individuals, but also helping those business owners too. Really connecting the like-minded audience with that group.
What I admire so much about you, Dr. Kody, is that with all the difficulties you were facing, and we're not going to touch on any of them here now, but to have your client basically prohibited from having hands-on help. You didn't sit there crying into your beer thinking, oh, woe is me. You actually stepped up and immediately took action to reassure people that you were there for the long term, to give them that support, and also to empower them to take the steps that they needed to do. So I'd want to salute you for that. I think you've done a phenomenal job. And I know the other businesses that participated within your run club benefited tremendously of Run Summit, I should say, benefited tremendously from the support that you were offering to them in this most generous way. So congratulations to you. Well done. Um,
Okay,
but I do want to talk about your mistakes, if you don't mind.
for sure.
It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes, yet wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So, can you share one of the mistakes and learnings that you've had along the way so that those that watch this could derive some benefit and don't have to relearn or reinvent the wheel, I should say?
So, a couple learning experiences. One thing, like I really enjoy doing, for example, the content media strategy. I was on my way in the beginning. So as a business owner, I think being a content platform for your clients is a must. I think that, and you can start it with very simple things. So for example, just the Facebook page, and I would say the blog is probably the bigger one. So I've kind of designed and worked with help with other people. But basically, once you create a blog, that blog can now become multiple Facebook posts. You break it up and you create a video that also embeds into the blog. Now you have a YouTube page and an Instagram video. So 1 ounce of content, which maybe takes you an hour because you talk to your clients every day about that topic, will now become your content for a month, maybe more. So that's something that I learned really quickly. It takes some time to develop the systems around it to make sure that it's doable. But that's what I do now in terms of some of the content that I create as well. And you can pre-program it. So that's what I draft up. And it's easy. You can literally ask your audience and say, what are some things you're interested in? What are some things you need help with? They're the best wealth of information for you.
What you're also speaking to is leverage, true leverage on how to do something once and to create multiple channels of value for your respective audience
Mhm.
rather than just slicing and dicing just to make life easier for you. So well done, well done. So you spoke about your different multi-channels of where you put your posts and so forth. How's the best way people can get in contact with you?
I think the best way to get in contact with me is our Facebook page is probably the most active.
Mhm.
So Facebook, our channel is Baseline Wellness. Okay, so you'll find us there. Our Instagram channel, Baseline_Wellness. That's the one that's there. YouTube, we're on YouTube as well. If you search up Baseline Health and Wellness, you'll find us. We have all our exercise videos posted there.
Cool.
And our website, baseline www.baselinewellness.ca. And if you need to directly contact me, info@baselinewellness.ca is I'm in the back end of that, so I'll see all the emails that come through.
Well, I'll put that up on when I post these videos. Um, do you have any special message, offer, proposal you'd like to make to those that are watching this?
Sure, yeah, like because Joel, you've been such a great help for our business and just support for everyone in the community. I'd like to be a part of that as well. For those who are watching this uh, interview, we do have a special rate usually for students, and that is the initial visit is $80. This will only be valid for me because I can't really speak for my other practitioners, right? But if you do book after seeing this and wanting to work with me on your health goals and getting yourself back to where you need to be, send me. You can book online and just make sure that you note that this is where you found it.
Or should they quote maybe action coach to you? And that way
I
it's
think
easy
that
to identify.
yeah, action coach would be great. So even if they put it in their inquiry, or they do like they send me an email, or they tell me that that it's Action Coach, I'll give them the discount. So it's a one-time discount for that initial visit.
That's incredibly generous of you. So thank you for that. So last question for you. Tell me what's been the most inspiring thing for you today.
I think the most inspiring is having like-minded individuals like yourself. Honestly, like I think having a support network that allows you to, everyone has fears, everyone has challenges in their life, but I really believe that the challenges are made for us to learn. And I think this universal challenge that we're hitting with COVID is an opportunity for the world to learn how to be better. There's a lot of flaws in terms of what we're working with, and there's going to be flaws along the way. But I think if we band together, we have good support, and we're moving towards a good common visual and valuable goal for individuals, I think we'll get through this, and we'll get through this on the other side positively.
Well, with people like you supporting health, wellness in general, and that passion and drive, I think it's a given that you'll be one of those exemplars and leaders to support people through not just COVID, but all those other challenges and difficulties that are going to raise up in general life, because it does happen. So I just want to say thank you, Dr. Kody, for your time this morning. I know you're exceptionally busy, and I really appreciate you taking your time out to have a chat with us and to share this. And I look forward to seeing you again as soon as I can get out of my chair. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate your time as well.